That was okay. I was going to take this because I don't think I can stand still, so I'm just going to just walk side by side here as we go. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. My first question to everyone is simply, I'd love to see a raise of hands. Who could put pants on this morning? You put pants on this morning? Pants. Yep, we've got almost 100% strike rate. It's looking pretty good. Well, very good. I just want to say you should be very proud of yourself because you're at a position where once in my life, in 2011, you're well ahead of me. Mental health took me to an absolute bottom of the pit, absolute rock bottom, where unfortunately I found myself on the floor. My hands were shaking, I had tears streaming down my face, and I couldn't do the most necessary form of putting pants on. Mentally, emotionally, physically, mental health has completely shaken up my life. And it was then in that time that I genuinely thought, wow, this is it. I'm not sure if I want to be here any longer. And I genuinely thought at that moment, mental health exists and it's real. And today I want to take you through a quick journey of my story of hitting rock bottom, but applying some tools and some strategies that I took on that got me from where I was to where I am today, and hopefully some things that you can take in your life that can better your mental health, but more importantly as well, connect to the people, the beautiful, the loved ones in your village that you can share and check in with them if they're going through a challenging time. Do you know, there was a time in my life when people come up and they say, Cam, everything's wonderful for you. You played cricket, you travelled the world, you went on a TV show, met your wife. It was Married at First Sight. I know those that did watch it. And I consider myself genuinely so grateful because I don't know if anyone has watched it. The success rate in that is not really high. I sort of came out the other side of it. I have two beautiful children. One was just born last week. So blessed. So yes, things right now, amazing. So grateful for my life. But what I do say is you didn't happen to see the 10 plus years prior, the heartache, the anguish, the pain that I actually had to go through. And I remember sitting on that floor and just thinking, wow, is this it? Is this really everything? And is this potentially my last day when I had that thought in my head? And I sat there, and when people go through pain and anguish, it's usually because they've lost hope, they've lost purpose. For me personally, I just finished my cricket career. Something that I've worked hard my whole life came to an end. Lost the end of relationship, done. I was homeless and I just tried to attempt my own life. I was at absolute rock bottom. And you combine those things and it equals pain and exhaustion. And unfortunately, when you combine pain and exhaustion, it leads to bad, permanent decisions. All from a temporary situation. Situation that could be helped. A situation that could be supported. By simply having days like this, by having honest, open communication and conversations that we could all have. I had that moment and I thought, well, what are the things that I genuinely need? And I thought, when I came here today, I thought, well, what can I come up with in 5 minutes to try and change the likes of mental health and have a conversation? Realistically, is there much? And I had to completely reframe my thoughts and thinking. I thought, you know what? In 5 minutes, this together, we actually can. Why and how? It takes action from all of us. To sharing our own story, to connecting. Imagine just being able to share your story or connecting with someone through your vulnerability can actually share and save a life. And as I was sitting down on that ground, it was the absolute rock bottom, and I checked myself into rehabilitation. I needed professional help. And as I checked myself and I sat on my hospital bed with tears rolling down my face thinking, is this it? Okay, but I still want more. There's still got to be something more left in me. That's in all of us. And I sat there and I thought, what are the things that I needed? What were they that could get me and accelerate me back into life that I knew it? First one was awareness. I had to be aware of what was serving me, what was bringing me happiness, what was adding to positive mental health. What is it for you? Health, fitness, food, friends, family, joy, music, whatever it might be. I had to be really aware of them. And not just aware, I had to be really grateful for them and not just express that one day we're having a good day and the next might be a bad one. I had to really identify them and apply them every single day, consistently. But not only that, I had to be really aware of the things that weren't serving me. What are the bad things? What are the things that weren't helping my mental health? I'm really grateful for those as well, because those are the things I can bring into my life and steer clear of. When I'm driving a car and we see a pothole, we can swerve out of the way of it. But when we're not aware of what is attributing to our mental health, we've got that car and we're driving straight into the pothole. Let's be really aware of what is ticking our box. Be really grateful. Gratitude, the number one way to get as present as you can in this moment right now. We're all so busy, trying to get to the next destination, the next thing. Life isn't a race. And when I discovered that for myself and realised, yes, because all my mates and everyone was corporate jobs and families and picket fences and all that sort of stuff, I just had to realise this was my race to run right now. I had to realise that. And when you stop and not worry about where you need to go, actually just take a breather and just enjoy the moments of joy along the way. Pick out, Michael was talking about, what's outside, the beautiful green leaves, the colours, the flowers, the sun, everything. Gives us an opportunity to just be really present, be grateful for the simple things that come into our life. Vulnerability. If vulnerability I hadn't shown, just very similar to what Greg was talking about, I wouldn't be here today. Because vulnerability comes with just letting ego aside and just being the best you can be, allowing what you need in that moment. At that moment, I needed professional help. I needed to let go of ego. I had to check myself into a hospital. And at that time, what was I going to come up with? Judgment, stigma, criticism. Cam, he's doing what? And a lot of people back then thought that it was you go into a hospital when you got a white jacket on, like the movies. I had to let that go and be absolutely vulnerable about what I was going into because I needed it for myself and I needed it for my family. When we show vulnerability, we give the opportunity for so many people to connect honestly, personally, to give someone that comfort, to share their story, to get the help that they need. I had to show it. Effective communication. I needed time to be able to go to someone and say, I need help. Can you please help me? I need that support. And the opposite exists as well. When we can check in with someone, it has the potential, and I mean really listen and be there with your intentions to help that person and ask how they're going. It has genuinely the opportunity to save someone's life. I was at a restaurant at Manly and I got some takeaway food. They didn't have any chairs, so I had to take my food and I sat outside. There was a park bench and there was a young gentleman there and he was sitting and he had his phone in his hand, he was shaking, and I sat there and I said, excuse me mate, do you mind if I sit here with you? He looked up at me, had tears in his eyes and he just nodded, yes. I put down my phone, I put down my food and I just asked him, I checked in, said, excuse me mate, my name's Cameron, what's your name? Are you okay? And he looked up at me with this really puzzled face, this question. And he said, oh, I've never really been asked that question before. I said, well, are you okay? He said, to be honest, my name's Ben and I've lost my job this week and I've ended a relationship. I've lost a bit of purpose. I feel useless and I don't know where to go. I said, thank you so much for sharing, Ben. Can I tell you a story? I said, once upon a time, I lost a career. Cricket was my everything. That was lost. Relationship ended. I was dealing with some trauma. I was homeless. Couldn't even put pants on. He said, pants? I said, yeah, pants. Have you got pants on, Ben? He said, yeah. I said, well, you're ahead of me, buddy. I said, if you just hold on, give yourself a chance to open up to someone, share what you're going through, you give yourself an opportunity to be supported, to be heard, to be listened to, and to find some solutions where you are right now. I said, I'm a walking, living, breathing example. I've been where you are. I understand you. I asked for help and I got it, and I'm here right now, and I'm fortunate enough that I can sit here with a smile on my face to say everything's okay. What do you need? Because in life, the universe will always hold some things back if you're not ready for them, or there's something better around the corner. Right now, I'm here for you. He put down his phone, he looked at me with a smile and he said, thank you, Cameron. I said, what for? He said, I just wanted to let you know that on my phone in my notes section right now, I was actually planning to take my own life tonight. And the list was a list of people that I wanted to say goodbye to. I just want to let you know that from this conversation, from this care that you've shown, just from checking in, I've actually just deleted that note right now. And you've given me hope and you've inspired me to just keep going, because things can get better if we give them the right opportunity. It's a huge part of what happens, vulnerability. We reframe it, incredible things can happen. Now, what are we going to achieve in our today? Minister was talking about action. This is action right here. But how about we go one further? How about we take some action from every single one of us in here today to go one further and take it upon you? Because realistically, what can we do? We talk, we have magnificent open conversations, but it's up to you to take that action, every single one of us. What does that action look like? And it's the most simple of things. In 5 minutes, we can do it. How about walking down the street and just actually smiling at a stranger? Have anyone done that before? Like you're smiling, you're like, I'm going to keep going until you smile. And it's like, really, you make it really uncomfortable, but that person snaps and they come too. How about a text? How about just a check-in? If you think of a loved one or someone you appreciate and you adore, and you can just send them a text and just like, all you have to write, the most simplest of things. Michael's doing it right now. Appreciate it. He's onto it. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm here if you need me. Most simplest of texts. And see what happens when that comes back. Majority of the time it is something like, are you drunk? You're like, well, I'm at a parliament function and a forum. Not really. Worst case scenario is they ask, hey, what's this all about? And you go, well, I was listening to Cam Merchant today. He was talking about vulnerability and appreciation and checking in with someone that you adore and you appreciate. I was thinking of you. It's a pretty good way to start a conversation, to start rolling on vulnerability. That's the action that we've all got the ability to take. That's the action that can actually save lives in that 5 minutes. You change someone's moment, you change someone's day, their week, their month, their life. You change the trajectory of where they're going and what we're doing. That's the power that we all genuinely have in this room. We're going to have some incredible conversations, I appreciate that. But it's about the action that we're all taking afterwards can genuinely save someone's life. Because I tell you what, realistically, honest conversations, can we change the world? No. No, we can't. Are we going to change the suicide prevention, the numbers that are coming at us? Not right now, but that's why we're here. But I tell you what, if we all take it upon ourselves to someone in our village or someone in our circle, and we just light 2 candles, 2 people's candles, and then eventually they light 2 people's candles, then eventually we light up a room. So you can't change the world. That's pretty impossible. But you can change someone's world by a conversation, by vulnerability, by sitting back as blokes and sitting and going, this is my story. I want to share it with you, because you give permission to someone else to share their story. I'm proud of my story, and I'm so honoured and privileged that I do get to share it, because it inspires someone else to share theirs. It becomes a ripple effect. We can change someone's world, and therefore that's how the world changes, and that's how we progress forward. So honoured to be here today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope we all take that action. Please look after yourselves, check in with yourself, check in with others. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.